Dave Chappelle, maybe you heard, was attacked by a man while performing at the Netflix as a Joke festival at the Hollywood Bowl last night. Now, a fan shot this video of the attack, and you can see the man rush the stage and violently tackle Dave, who falls back. Now, after the attack, the man was chased off the stage, and then video shows security and others gathered around him backstage. Chris Rock was also there and made this joke.
Was that Will Smith?
Police have identified the attacker as a 23-year-old man who was taken away on a stretcher. Police say he pointed a gun at Chappelle as he rushed him, but it turns out the gun wasn't real, but it did have a knife attached to it. After all of that, Dave continued his act and even brought Jamie Foxx on stage to talk about it. Take a listen.
Shout out to Jamie Foxx, by the way. Jamie, where you at? Whenever you're in trouble, Jamie Foxx would show up in the sheriff's hat. I thought that was part of the show. I don't know what the I've been doing this 35 years. I just stomped the backstage.
All right, so you being a comic,
yeah.
does this surprise you?
Not at all. Not at all. This has been happening since it's happened to me. I've had comic friends that have had things thrown at them, shot glasses. My buddy Jim Jeffries had a muffin thrown at him from the top. Somebody's gone on stage and punched him. People have hit a lot of comics. I know a comic that had to come back to the city we were performing in to testify against somebody that came after him on stage. This is not. Maybe it's just we're in a heightened place where people are more aware of this, but this is very normal for comics. And when you think about celebrities, I was making the joke a little bit earlier, but you don't get that close to J-Lo or Beyonce. Like, I wouldn't even know what hotel she's in, how many security guards, I couldn't imagine. But comics, especially when they're working out for a new special, you can get right next to Dave Chappelle. You plop down $150, he'll walk right past you on his way to the stage. So if he's a person or any other comic that has said anything that could slightly be confrontational or seen as agitating the public, those people that have been radicalized over the internet over the last couple of years could be waiting for you as long as they're willing to pony up that $150. The only issue with me that I saw here was how did the Hollywood Bowl let that happen in this? Sir, it's not like this is lax and everybody's kind of having a good time. He's maybe the most polarizing comedian of all time and definitely the most polarizing one alive right now. And so I would think there would have been several meetings. Jeff?
Well, before Jeff jumps in, just to give context to our viewers, the Hollywood Bowl is a very well-known venue in Hollywood. I used to live across from it. Every time we'd go to a show, there's metal detectors. You have to show them your bag. So how this gun/knife got in is beyond me. Go ahead.
And Chappelle's bringing a crew with him, right? Of very famous people. He's very well known for that. You'd think he'd beef up security a little bit, especially for that show. I was listening to Brendan Schwab. You know who that is? He's a comedian.
Former UFC
fighter, pro football player almost, played tight end, tried out for it. He was talking about this 2 weeks ago, and he's like, the security kind of just goes away when I'm on stage because they think I can handle myself. And he's like, I can't handle myself. We need security there to make to your point about stand-up comedians. But this, I want to go a little bit on the Will Smith thing. I don't think it's Will Smith's fault at all, but I want to address it because Chris Rock finally made that first joke, right? I think Will Smith kind of opened that door for crazy people on the internet, and you kind of referenced that, to do things like this. In a small corner of the internet, this man has some sort of fan base now. We specifically didn't mention his name, so we don't want to credit him, but for some odd reason, this man in his little world is some sort of celebrity now. And it's crazy how you get stardom from doing stupid things like this.
Eric, what are you thinking?
Well, I was just looking at his twisted arm because his arm was jacked.
Yes.
And he deserved it. I'm not for violence. I'm really not. But it's very clear to me that there are a lot of people who have never gotten their butts beat and they really need to. Like, honestly, I remember a guy who I truly respect. He's like, Erica, you'll never learn your lesson until you lose money. And I was like, or you get your butt beat. Because I've had my butt beat, and let me tell you, I've moved differently now. Some people, honestly, it's true. It's true. And I mean, the idea that
deserve it. I need to separate you from this individual.
Right, but
Not
I'm
to say
saying
they deserve violence,
some people need the context of what it is. Like, some people need to live through that experience, because I'm telling you, a lot of people would be moving a lot differently. The idea that someone, and I don't know, what sparked it. because honestly, I was at a Chappelle show 3 years ago when I saw a fan approach the stage, and it was like the craziest thing, because you're looking at it like, well, what? And people do think like, is this a part of the act? Do they know each other? And then there's almost like this delay of reaction from everyone. So Hollywood Bowl, that's very suspect. But I'm honestly, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, and that twisted arm is a stupid prize.
And do you think really quickly, any of you, that it had to do with either the Will Smith debacle or the fact that this could be payback, so to speak, for his trans jokes? Those are all theories on the internet.
I think those are all in play. I think there's no conspiracy. Yeah, no conspiracy theories, but I think those are all in play, along with some substances and maybe some mental health issues, and that's the result.